welcome back to my channel. So today I am filming my everyday makeup routine video for you. This was my first ever video originally, but I deleted it because it was just very embarrassing. So I'm now doing a new one. So it's going to be a bit of a chatty one, and I just talk to you through the products that I use, how I do it. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you do enjoy it, and also hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Okay, so before I start, if you hear any sort of movement or rustling in the background, it's because the dogs are in here. So I've got no makeup on, I've cleansed, toned and moisturised my face, and I'm now ready to start my makeup. So I've started using a primer. I always used to use one, and I've started using them again because I found my makeup just wasn't lasting quite long enough as what I wanted it to. So I'm really liking the L'Oreal Infallible mattifying base. I always prefer a mattifying primer. I don't like anything too dewy. So I'm just going to use a sort of pea-sized amount of that. Rub that in and just rub it into my face. I always love primers because they just make your skin feel so incredibly soft, and obviously it just makes your makeup go on so much more smoothly. I'm now going to use my go-to foundation. I love this foundation. I've bought it so many times. It is the L'Oreal True Match foundation. I used to use Rose Ivory, but I've started using Ivory now because I realised I just needed it to be a little bit paler. I thought I did use the palest, but this is officially the palest colour you can get. Sorry, Harry has joined me now. And I'm going to be using my Real Techniques buffing brush as well. So I just put one pump on the back of my hand and just blend that into my skin. So that is my foundation done. I'm now going to put a little bit of concealer just under my eyes. I use the Collection concealer in Fair. And then just blend that in, and I just use my finger to blend that in, to be honest. I can see myself in the viewfinder and I literally just look like a ghost right now. Okay, so I've now blended in the concealer under my eyes. I'm now going to set that. So I'm using the Marks & Spencer's Autograph. It's just the Smooth Matte Pressed Powder in Translucent. I'm using a tiny little Bare Minerals brush just to set under my eyes, and then to set the rest of my face I'm going to be using this big brush. This is from the Diego Della Palma range. I just find this really helps stop any creasing under your eyes. That is my makeup all set. Okay, so I've now set my makeup, and now I'm going to add a little bit of shape and life to my face because I look so pale. So my favourite things to use, which I love these, is the Rosy for Autograph range. The packaging is just beautiful for a start, and they just go on so nicely. So I've got the Killer Contour and also the Get the Glow. So you've got your bronzer and your highlighter. So I'm going to start off with the bronzer. You can just pop it straight on directly from this, but I prefer to still use a brush, so I just like to apply it like this. So I have been asked a few times how I contour, which I'm not entirely sure why, because I still don't know if my contour is any good. But I just sort of, rather than do this face, I pull a really weird face like this, and you can just sort of see that line. And you just fill in, you just shade in the line basically. And then I tend to sort of blend it up a little bit as well. I tend to make it a bit darker here than what I would here. I also have quite chubby cheeks, so I like to outline my jawline. It looks really weird, I know. And then I just blend that in. I tend to use the same angled brush. So you just blend that in, making sure you bring it down your neck just to blend in as well. And you can see already it's really sort of darkened my jawline. And then now I'm going to move on to the highlighter. It is honestly so pretty. I just use this little cheapy brush that I got. So again, I don't like to put it on directly. I just think it's a bit more gentle with a brush. Oh look. You can see that highlight. So you just put that above where you've contoured, just to highlight your cheekbones. I also like to put a little bit just underneath my brows. And then a little bit just on my Cupid's bow as well. So that's all the highlight I use. Then to add a teeny bit more colour to my face, I put a little bit of blusher on, just on the apples of my cheeks. So I've been using this for quite a long time now because this is honestly going to last me years. It is the Diego de la Palma blusher. It's completely faded as to what colour it is, but it did go in the sale. It does come with its own little applicator brush, but again, I don't use that. But it's a very nice, just sort of corally pink shade, and I just pop it on the apples of my cheeks. And blend it upwards. So I'm now going to move on to my eyebrows. As you can see, they're just quite naturally dark anyway because I have very dark hair. I have changed how I do them recently. I've started using a pomade, and this is the NYX one in the colour... Okay, so the colour of this is chocolate. And then to apply that, I treated myself to the Real Techniques brow kit, and I love this. This is probably going to go in my favourites. It's so good. So you get an brow brush, you get a concealer brush like to do under your eyebrows, and you get your angled brow brush. You also get some scissors and some tweezers, along with just a very handy case for it to go in. So firstly, I like to just brush my brows into place. And then I'm going to be using the angled brush and dipping it into my pomade. So I like to underline the bottom first. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. Why does my face now look so orange now I've zoomed in? And then to make that look a little bit less scary, and then get my brush again and just comb that out. The Collection concealer again. Okay, so that is my eyebrows done. I'm still kind of getting the hang of this. So now I'm going to add my eyeshadow. I always stick to browns, bronzes, sort of nudes. It's just what I always wear. It goes nice with any eye colour really, and it just looks nice and natural. And it goes with any outfit, so I just tend to always stick to those colours. I always use my trusty Pure Minerals eyeshadow palette. This is the Soul Matte palette. So they're all matte shades. I always stick with these two shades. Sometimes I like to use this, but I stick with a really simple eyeshadow technique. So I'm just going to be using that shade here, BFF, and it does come with a little brush as well. So I just start off with the outer corner of my eyes. I just sort of lightly blend it into the centre. I also like to angle my brush and pop a little bit just underneath my eye as well. And then just to add a little bit of sparkle and glitter to my eyes, I use this limited palette. This is only £12, it's so good, and it's just full of like your sort of earthy neutrals. The colour that I always tend to use is this one, and this one's quite nice just in the inner corner of your eye, and then it does come with a little brush as well. I like to just sort of pop it on the centre of my eyelid. Now I'm going to be using this one here. Okay, so now it's time to move on to mascara. I have tried so many different mascaras and I'm still loving this one. It was Zoe or Zoella that recommended it, and she is so right, it is such a good mascara and so affordable. It is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. Before I do my mascara, I have quite long eyelashes but they're quite straight, so I always need to curl them. This one I just bought from Tesco. You can use any lash curler. So with my mascara, I always start off with the inner corner of my lashes and just work my way around. So next I need to conceal. So I've only put foundation and concealer under my eyes at the minute. I have to say, at the minute, touch wood, I'm touching wood in front of me, my skin has honestly been amazing. I don't know if you saw when I had no makeup on, but my complexion is so good at the minute. I have like a permanent red dot on my nose that I always cover, but in a few days time I'm very excited. I'm going to be getting that removed. It's called advanced electrolysis, so I'm basically going to get it burnt off. It's what the red dot is, it's basically a broken vein. So what they do is they stick a needle on it or in it, and they send electric currents to it and they just burn it off basically. So I'm going to have a scab for a few days, which I'm not looking forward to, but they said that I can easily put makeup over it. And then hopefully my red dot will just be gone. I know to some people it's probably just like a really tiny thing, but it's one of them things that just always makes me so incredibly insecure and I hate it. I use the Benefit Boyne Concealer. I find this concealer is so good for blemishes. It just completely covers any sort of redness. It is such a good concealer, and this is number 1, which is obviously the lighter shade. A little bit on my finger and just dab that on. And then to finish my everyday makeup look, I'm going to be using my favourite lipstick, which is the NYX Liquid Suede. I love this so much. Again, it was Zoe or Zoella that introduced me to this. I just love the colour. It is called Sandstorm. It is so pretty. I do find it is quite drying on your lips, but if you just add a little bit of Burt's Bees throughout the day, you're fine. Right, so that is my makeup done. I'm now going to take out my fringe. That is my everyday makeup for you. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next week with another video. Bye! So normally paper clips, they can just be a little bit boring. I saw these and I just thought they were really cool and just really quirky. But yeah, didn't you like that?